In today's lesson, we'll be learning about data visualization in Python. How do we visualize data in Python? So first thing we need to do is to launch our editor. I use Visual Studio Code. If you use Sublime Text or Atom, you're good. But if you don't have Visual Studio Code, you need to download Visual Studio Code. So I've launched my Visual Studio Code. And in case you do not have Visual Studio Code, all you need to do is go to your browser and type Visual Studio Code download. Chrome should give you, the first link in Chrome should take you to the link to download Visual Studio Code. So if you've installed it, this is what you will have. So next thing I want to do, I want you to create a folder, preferably on your desktop. So I'll create a folder. You can title that data visualization. Visualization. Okay. So open this folder. Once it's open, I will create a new folder inside of this. I'll just call this part 1. Let's make it lowercase, part 1. All right. So I can close this down now and then go to Visual Studio Code, open a folder. Now on your desktop, I have it on my desktop. Just go to where that folder is, data visualization. Ensure you go inside that folder and open the folder of part 1. That's the folder I want you to open. Okay. Yeah, all set. So now we have part 1 opened. So next thing we need to do is to create a virtual environment inside here. So when we work in Python, it is good for us to use virtual environments so we don't conflict with packages that are on our system. So for example, for data visualization, we're going to be using matplotlib, a library called matplotlib. So imagine I have matplotlib version 2 all on my system. So when I want to install matplotlib version 3, it just looks at it like and tells me, oh, you already have matplotlib version 2. So it just skips the process. It tells me successfully installed. Whereas what it saw was matplotlib version 2. So because it saw matplotlib version 2, it tells me it has been installed. So we want to avoid all of that and create a virtual environment. So to do that, we'll use a terminal. So let's launch the terminal. Then do Python M. Also, if you don't have Python installed on your system, install Python onto your system. I assume you have done all this. Install Python onto your system. Also, when you download Visual Studio Code, come here to libraries and make sure you have Python, this one installed, this Python. Okay, so go to Python, the official one from Microsoft, have it installed. All right, so now if you have Python installed onto your system, you can type Python -m -venv, so to create a virtual environment, and then you can say part 1 venv. So this part, the virtual environment for part 1, that is how I want it. So you see this, it's created this for us. So now once we've created a virtual environment, we want to activate that virtual environment. Okay, it's still creating. It's not done. Okay, now it's done. So activate the virtual environment. I'll say part 1 venv. You can hit tab so to complete that for you. I'm on Windows, so I have to type /. If you're on Mac OS, you have to use this. And then I think you have to have source in front. You can look up how to do that for Mac OS. So then part 1 venv, then we're going into script and we'll activate. Now, once you do that, it shows you that your virtual environment has been activated. So any package you install goes into this virtual environment, not onto your entire system. Okay, so next thing we need to do is to pip install matplotlib. So pip install -u matplotlib. Click on enter. Okay, so I typed something wrong there. I'm going to raise this up. Okay. So I'll go back to the command I wrote. So I made a mistake with it's mat without the H. So install. Yes, it's doing that. It's installing. It's installing. Finally, it's done. I would like to clear my terminal, so you can just type CLS. All right, so it's cleared. Can bring this down, even close it. So now inside this place, I want you to create a new file called squares. Oh, it should be squares.py. Let's rename that squares.py. So it shows that we're working with a Python file. So, and if you've done everything correctly up to this point, you should see this. That's if Python is installed onto your VS Code. So you should see this play button. All right. So now we'll do import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. So we're importing this library. Next, I'll create a variable called squares. Squares. So 1 squared is what? That's 1. 2 squared is 4. 9. 4 squared is 16. 5 squared is 25. Okay. Okay, so we're going to type now. We're going to type figure and then AX. So this is what is called multiple assignment in Python. So PLT, that's matplotlib.pyplot. So anytime we want to reference this, we use PLT. So that's why we use the alias PLT. So PLT dot subplot with an S. Okay, yeah. So what we just did here for pyplot, so when pyplot plots a graph, it can plot multiple graphs. So when you plot multiple graphs, we grab it with figure. But when we're looking at a single subplot, we look at the what? The AX. So matplotlib can plot multiple plots, and then all of those plots are grouped as one. So we are assigning those group as figure, but each individual plot as AX. Okay. So now we are saying AX dot plot squares. Then we're going to say PLT dot show. I'm going to save that and run. So to run it, just click on this play button. Yep, we are all good. So this is our graph. We have the squares, so going from 1 all the way to 25. But this is not still perfect yet. In the next lesson, we are going to edit all of this to make it look good. But you've created your first graph in matplotlib. Congratulations to you. If you like this video and you want to see more of this, subscribe to the YouTube channel, give us a comment, give us a like, and I'll see you in the next video.